Now, here's the news. They did not show up to the Planning Commission meeting Monday night with pitches or lit torches, but they did have plenty of signs that showed semi-trucks, and they were very passionate. They told the Planning Commission they did not want the so-called Eddy Jones project named after the street that it's adjacent to, and which is right near the Oceanside Airport. The Planning Commission unanimously agreed that the Eddy Jones project brought to them by a Carlsbad developer would proceed, and that it is okay to build 4 huge warehouses. They did scale it back a bit, going from 56 truck bays to 34, but that still didn't make the residents who were complaining happy, and they're now planning and pledging and promising they're going to take it before the city council. And this property is 32 acres, and it used to be the TE Connectivity Enterprise, which left Oceanside about 3 or 4 years ago. And before that, it was known to longtime locals as the Deutsch Company, and they manufactured electronic parts there. Now, it must be known that the land underneath project is contaminated. It's zoned industrial. It would cost millions to mitigate all that poisoned soil. So right now, the Planning Commission said Eddy Jones is going to go forward. The people say, no, 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 we're going to go before the city council. We're going to appeal it, and we're going to win. Now, they might have a good point there, because just a week or two ago, just a few meetings ago, the city council reversed a planning commission decision that said no to a property owner on South Pacific Street, that he could get away with an illegal building. And sure enough, the council reversed that decision. The city council also reversed a decision by the Planning Commission on the North River Farms project a few years ago. And about 4 or 5 years ago, the city council reversed the Planning Commission decision on an Amazon warehouse in the Ocean Ranch area of Oceanside. Now, that did not eventually get built, but nevertheless, the city council in Oceanside has been known to reverse Planning Commission decisions, and it looks like that could happen again. There's no date set to when the council will hear this appeal on the Eddy Jones project. After 25 years, the City Council has told the Oceanside Chamber of Commerce that it is no longer going to get free rent at their building they've been in for the last 25 years on the 900 block of North Coast Highway. It is now up for the Chamber and the City Council to agree on terms. Those terms are not being discussed, or if they're going to have to pay the full market, fair market rate, which is probably a nice chunk of change considering where it is on North Coast Highway and what's been happening around it. When the council gave the Chamber of Commerce an agreement to have free rent over to the year 2000, there was no Main Street and there was no Visit Oceanside. The Chamber of Commerce was pretty much it for doing promoting tourism, promoting business, and holding special events. And since then, Main Street has arrived and now promotes, creates the Independence Day Parade. It's responsible for the 2 markets on Thursday. Visit Oceanside increasingly handles the promotion of tourism, the promotion of business, and basically the Chamber of Commerce has sort of disappeared And that may have been the reason why the city of Oceanside, the city council said, you're no longer going to be the only chamber of commerce in the county to get free rent. And we understand their lease, their 25-year lease is up in September. A new one would start in October. And we do not know yet what's going to happen, except we do know that the Oceanside Chamber of Commerce is no longer going to get free rent at their current office space. Now, it's interesting to note that across the way, there are two buildings there at the 900 block of North Coast Highway. One is occupied by the Welcome Center, the so-called Welcome Center. And that used to be run by the Oceanside Chamber of Commerce, and it has since been given off to Visit Oceanside. They don't run that anymore. And the other building on the northern building is occupied by the chamber. And that's the building that is, if it is to be occupied by the chamber going forward, they're going to have to start paying rent. But we don't know any details. Stay tuned for that. The North County LGBTQ Center helps some of its clients when they have problems, say, with their landlord. Well, now the LGBTQ Center has itself become a landlord. That's right. Last week it was announced by Executive Director Max Disposti that his North County LGBTQ Center based in Oceanside is now its own landlord. It owns its own property. They came up with $1 million to buy the property on Apple Street that formerly housed the Bread of Life. And that Bread of Life group has been subsumed within the San Diego Rescue Mission. And so the landlord agreed to sell the building there. There's two buildings to the North County Gay and Lesbian Group. They came up with $1 million. They have to come up with another $3.5 million. And that's what's happening going forward. We wanted to get some comments from Max Disposti. He was not available. But we did learn that there are two buildings there. There's the Western building, which is where the LGBTQ Resource Center is going to be housed, along with the administrative offices. The other building across the way has tenants, and those tenants have leases. And one of those tenants is a music / recording studio / rehearsal room. And it's unclear whether the tenants on that other building are going to be renewed once their leases end, but for the time being, that other eastern building, all the tenants there are going to stay the same, and of course the other western building has been taken over by the LGBTQ Center of North County, which is one of two such centers in the county. The other one in San Diego, and this one in Oceanside. And so stay tuned for more details on that as they become available. So Apple Street is certainly looking a lot different nowadays. And Max Disposti and the North County LGBTQ Center has taken over the 1900 block of Apple Street. And they're moving ahead. We just spoke about the big changes going on in the Apple Greenbrier area of Oceanside with the opening of the LGBTQ Center on Apple. Well, right around the corner on Greenbrier, there's a Japanese store called Kyoto, and it was opened in 1966 by two Japanese-American women who started selling Japanese groceries there and other stuff from Asian goodies since 1966. Well, the family took over the Kyoto store, and it's still there. But last year it was sold to a couple, AJ and Mike, and they are still keeping they're still selling Japanese goods there, but Mike added a twist, and he imported an outdoor smoker where they smoke meats and chicken, and an outdoor barbecue setup where they make barbecue goodies, and they sell these goodies on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's also the time you can go by there and buy pre-made sushi, or you can call in advance and order the sushi that you want, and they'll make it there for you, and you can go pick it up there. They pretty much sell out their sushi every day, so you got to get there early if you want it. But what's really interesting is that the Mike said that he is going to be putting in plans. He's the former master brewer from Pizza Port in Carlsbad. He's going to be putting in plans to build a brewery there at Kyoto, which is very, very cool. And so that's great news. Look for that to open maybe in the fall. So I asked AJ what she thought about being in that area. Right next door is the Greenbrier. It's like a 4-story apartment complex for low-income folks. On Apple Street, there was, for many years, it was known for being a haven for a lot of homeless people, a lot of shopping carts, all that kind of stuff. And she says that since they've been running the Kyoto store and owning it, they've had no problems, very little problems there, and no problems that can't be taken care of is what she said. And so she says that being in that neighborhood is not a bad thing at all, and we're very happy for AJ and Mike at the Kyoto market.